Hello and welcome back to some more iRacing. Today something a little bit different. I'm in a Radical. I've actually owned this car for so long that I had to purchase it. It is now of course a free car with your iRacing subscription, and it's a really cool, really fun car to drive. It's both easy and hard. It's sort of easy in that the car does what you expect it to do. It's got quite a direct front end, it's quite stable on the road. But it's difficult in that when you do make a mistake, it's rather difficult to catch it. It tends to snap the car around, you're in the wall before you know it, and it's absolute carnage. Now, this is the first race I've done in a very long time. In fact, it's only the second race I've ever done in a Radical, the first one being a long time ago at Laguna Seca. And this did not disappoint. It was absolute carnage. It might be one of the craziest races I've actually done on iRacing. So this is the second of my qualifying laps. The first was pretty disastrous. The second one's been a bit better. I was 17th on the grid. This one, whilst not quite living up to my potential, was good enough for 7th on the grid. Now, while we wait for the lights to go out, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to leave a like and of course hit subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content. Okay, so the lights are all on. Lights out and away we go. Not too bad a start. I have to clutch that one out, of course, being a standing start, looking for any opportunities I can. So I've just eased off the brake on the inside, which has put me up next to 6th there. I think I'll get a slightly better drive on the way out. He is still to the right hand side of me. We have a look for him in the rear view mirror to see if he appears, and there he is. So I did happen to get a better drive out of the first turn, and that's good. That's up one spot already. Now hopefully he tucks in behind and I have the apex here. He does, and I'm able to hold that. It's so much harder if you've got to run around the outside of that. You often end up making contact, getting put in the wall, and that is race over. But we're up one spot already, and the group bunches up, so it's about taking it easy here on the first lap. But as we watch ahead, there's carnage, cars in the wall, I'm in the wall, there's cars flying around everywhere. I've cleaned up another one, try and avoid him. Oof. We got through absolute carnage there. There is cars going everywhere. I've snuck through, but I've got a meatball, unfortunately, and this really is quite disappointing because the car actually feels okay. And you can see down in the relative at the bottom there, I'm actually second. I've managed to box on all right, but unfortunately, the choice is taken out of my hands. iRacing has decided that I do need to pit in and take some repairs. So as I ease my way in, I've got a pretty huge gap back to what is essentially third place. It's just a wild start. Whilst first place goes on, skips ahead. Look at the amount of cars sitting in the pits as I roll up. That has got to be 3/4 of the pit lane, of the grid in total. There are cars everywhere. With 10 minutes of repairs, let's check out the replay from onboard me. We can look over the top. You can see one fella lose it there. The second one goes into him, smashes into the green car, which I then end up cleaning up as well, and I avoid the rest of the carnage. We'll look from his perspective. He does his best to avoid, cleans up the green car, has a spin himself there, and then we're under the road, so something really cool is happening here. He's made further contact with another car, then takes off and tries to cut across, makes contact with yet another car, and the carnage continues. Not a great day. So that 8 minutes of required repairs is done. The optionals have, there was still 2.5 left or whatever it was. I decided not to worry about it because the car felt fine when I pitted. So I thought, let's just not worry about the optionals. Let's go out and box on and see how the car feels. This, of course, is a pretty sketchy sort of time because I have no idea when I get to the first corner if the car's actually going to go around it or if it's going to understeer or just, spin as they do sometimes. You can see I've actually pulled out in front of 4th and look how gentle I take it here. Just really ease my way through, trying not to get on the curb. I've got 4th who's coming around to put a lap on me behind me, but I didn't immediately give way. I thought if he really comes up and starts to pressure me, I will. But as I tiptoe around this first lap, I've actually come out in front of what is essentially 6th and it says 9th, so I really don't know at this point if that 5th position is correct. I'm actually thinking in my head, surely that can't be correct because it was quite a big field. I was in the pits for 8.5 minutes. Surely I haven't come out in 5th. But we'll wait until I come round across the start-finish line to see if that's 5th genuine or if we need iRacing to essentially catch up. In regards to how the car itself feels, it wasn't too bad. To be honest, cornering it felt fairly good. I was a little bit dubious about its overall pace. It kind of felt like it was lacking a little bit of pace, and it's probably worth taking note at this point of the video how far behind 6th is, or the guy behind me, which we assume is 6th, is. About that 13 seconds. Now, I suspect they probably took the extra time for the optional repairs. I didn't come out of that well. Still not sure if it was actually the contact I made on the wall initially when I panicked. That was actually just a panic brake. I sort of saw the carnage ahead. I don't know the car that well. I jumped on the brakes and it just steered the front straight into the wall. So that was kind of a bit of, well, I guess, you know, I am a noob. This is really the first race I've done for a very long time in these cars, and I guess I'll know for next time. Don't jab the brakes on, because you will just drive the car into the wall on the side. But you can see as iRacing does catch up, it was in fact 5th outright. That is accurate. I've got 4th overall behind me, many laps ahead at this point, or at least a few laps ahead. And I've got 6th behind me and catching, so I've actually jumped forward ahead in this race towards the end, because honestly nothing else interesting happened. I don't want to upload a video of me lapping around by myself. What is of interest though is that 6th place has been able to gain a huge amount on me. They've taken about 8 or 9 seconds, so whilst the car did feel okay, it was well and truly down on power, and I was not able to lap fast enough. But nonetheless, that is going to be the end of the race. It's still pretty wild to think that in a fairly stacked field you can have a huge crash on lap 1, spend 8.5 minutes at the pits serving your required repairs, and still come out in 5th and maintain it. I am really glad that I decided not to take the required repairs though, because that would have dropped me a few spots back. But a nice short video. I'm going to end it there. Hopefully you did enjoy. As I said before, please feel free to leave a like, and I look forward to talking to you next time. But for now, that's goodbye.